Every athlete will go through a phase when they don't know anything. They don't know who they are. They just know they want to do this. They want to give it a shot. They want to give it a try. But you got to remember, you have to start at the beginning. You have to start somewhere. Not everybody walks in with all the gifts, whether they be natural gifts from God, whether they've learned it, intuitively or through osmosis. We all have to start from where we are. The key is not to worry about what everybody else has almost in abundance and you seem to be lacking. There will be some who will naturally pick up on aggression, some who work from defense, some who will have good counter-offensive skills, and that's okay. Because in the beginning, what are you trying to find? You're trying to discover your start point. You're trying to discover who you are. And it doesn't matter where we begin, whether we're talking about in the striking range or the grappling range. It doesn't matter. You're going to have to figure it all out when you're an MMA fighter anyway. And it doesn't matter if you're male or female, but these days, now we're talking about children and adults. You're just going to have to figure it out. And the key is, no matter what the coaches design for you in terms of the workout, you just got to learn to suffer your lumps, your ups and downs, and just go with it. Because even when you do have a background, you're not going to win every round against the guys who've already been there. The guys who have some skills similar to your expertise. They come from a background that's comparable and they're giving you a problem. And that's what you want. The problems help you actually get smarter because the game is about problem solving. It's all about the solutions. So don't worry about the ups and downs. In fact, be more concerned if you don't have them. Because if you don't have them, then at that point, you start to recognize that you might be the big fish in the small pond. And you don't want to have that as a mindset. You don't want to have that as a reality because it will begin to stifle your progress and hold you back. You want to go to a gym where some days you are the lion and some days you are the gazelle, because you're going to always be in a mode where you're what? You're learning, always learning. This is how you become a good problem solver in real time. You actually practice being a problem solver. You actually go through the process of trying new things, dealing with people who have different skill sets, facing difficulties, and simply accepting them. You actually give your partner a high five and you thank them for being who they are. Because otherwise, you will never see these problems. And then when you run into these problems in real time, you'll be looking to your coaches for help. You'll start to have self-doubt. You'll wonder why you're doing this. So in the beginning, yeah, you're going to suck a little bit. But then there comes a day when you just don't remember. And that's what you want. You want to have those little short, small victories inside of the gym day by day until the point where it's just consistent and it's just consistency. The work is the body of work. Getting in the gym with some direction, some focus, and constantly working on things. One of the best things you can do is every time you move, every time you train, every time you spar, every time you drill, it doesn't matter. Focus on something that you want to get better at. Everything's contextual. It doesn't matter if we're talking about the warm-up. It doesn't matter if we're talking about the technical drills or the live drills or the conditioning drills. You just want to have some understanding of where you're going. What is it that you're doing? Because this is the only way you're going to be able to really develop the word training in terms of its real definition, which is focus. You train your skills, you train your mind, you train your body to do very specific things. And again, as you're doing this, you're going to travel back in time and you're going to remember when you didn't know anything and you're going to have doubts. That's okay. It's okay, because the key is the longer you go and you have fewer and fewer doubts and you keep trying, no one comes out of the womb walking right away. Right? At first, you got to crawl. You know the sayings. You got to crawl before you walk. And then somewhere in there you got to stand. Somewhere in there you got to balance your legs. Somewhere you got to get stronger. Somewhere in there you got to keep trying things. And the next thing you know, you're running marathons. So you just keep moving forward. You keep trying little by little. And guess what happens if you fall down? Hey, it's part of the process. You get right back up again. Get back on that horse and you ride again. And before you know it, the next thing you know, you're going to be in a situation where you're having your first fight, your first win. And after a couple of fights, you're on a streak. And the next thing you know, you're in the championship bout. And then you're getting your hand raised. You're getting that belt wrapped around you. And the next thing you know, you're heading off to the big leagues. Because at the end of the day, you have to remember, like, why are you doing this? So from the beginning until you achieve every point of success, you just keep going and going and going.